the ability for Startup Prize, which is a model built on giving direct connection of subject matter experts, resources, and investment dollars to entrepreneurs. Right now our focus is on health, but we're going to add energy. Energy was just a natural sort of offshoot of all that. When you look at Louisiana as a state, you look at North Louisiana as a place, energy is what we're about. And, the fact it took me 11 years to figure that out is a little embarrassing. But, the fact is that we're here and we hope to do good work.
Yeah, and you mentioned health. There was also Startup Prize Health that launched 6 years ago now.
Yeah.
So can you talk a little bit about the success and how it kind of led into
Sure.
this?
Yeah. I mean, I will tell you, Anthony, when I first started Startup Prize Health, it was an amazing idea, but I'm here to tell you that I knew not a whole lot about health. It was a noble endeavor. We had just come out of COVID. LSU Health Sciences had done the mRNA vaccine or helped do part of the mRNA vaccine. And, as a result, allowing health entrepreneurs to come to Shreveport was really what the goal was. The issue was that nobody came at the beginning. What we were able to do was really to hone the model and to create something that became a beacon so that, the first year of Startup Prize Health, we had 16 entrepreneurs that I swear I think I begged each and every one of them to come here. Last year we had 74 74 entrepreneurs, 74 startups from 23 different states, 50% female founders, which are better numbers than any other entrepreneurial competition in the country right now when you look at the per capita number. So, I think that when you look at what health has done, and to add to that, we just announced last week that Jura Health, one of the companies that went through the Startup Prize, right, based in Boulder, Colorado, just opened an office in Shreveport, and as of last week has more employees in Shreveport, Louisiana than it does in Colorado. So Chris Moore will say we are kind of dual headquartered, and one of our headquarters is in Shreveport, Louisiana, and the other one's in Boulder, Colorado. I feel like we're doing the right thing at that point. Mm-hmm. And it's a point of pride for us, but it should be a point of pride for the city, right? I mean, you are talking about a company that came through a competition, the Startup Prize, landed in Shreveport, Louisiana, and is now growing their business here, right? Which is kind of what it's all about. And, hearkening it back to Austin, Texas, when my wife Heidi and I lived in Austin in 1992, it was 400,000 people. It was kind of, a place where, hipsters and hippies and, musicians could all hang out. Now look at that town. And that's really our goal, is to grow a city that is open to innovation, that welcomes entrepreneurs, that really makes us into something super special.
And when it comes to that innovation, that's a huge focus, obviously, of the startups. How do you go about finding those people and those innovators?
It's it's a great question. I mean, innovators are characteristically, very focused people who don't necessarily get out into the wild very often, because when you have your idea, you are going to work on that idea, be it in your office, in your garage, your backyard. There's not a whole lot of contact at the beginning. That said, they need a lot of help, right? So what they do is they go to places like conferences, or they go to places like LinkedIn, just kind of casting a line out. And we've gotten very good at seeing that kind of that tiny flicker in the woods and going into those woods and getting them. Beyond that, as I've said with health, what is fascinating is, while it started with us sort of extracting people out of these, creative holes, right? Now they come to us because we are the ones that are providing world-class access to resources. And when someone can come to one place and find a subject matter expert, a resource, or investment dollars, that is hopefully what they're attracted to and where they'll wind up. Now, with energy, we're just getting started. So it is, we've got our hands full of nails, and we've got a hammer, and we're going to go build something.
Nice. And you previously said that energy is central to the state of Louisiana's identity. Could you talk a little bit more about that and like what led you to that conclusion?
Well, Anthony, I think if I had thought about it, I probably would have started Startup Prize Energy first. Right? It's like it is more natural to who we are and where we are right now. I just did not think about it the way I should have. That said, all the learning that's taken place has allowed us to be in an amazing position to create an opportunity to really help embolden and amplify who Louisiana is and what Louisiana should be welcoming to our state to help grow it. And, innovation in energy is really what it's about at this point. I mean, Louisiana is definitely a place that's rich in natural resources. Now, really what our hope is that Louisiana is also going to be rich in sort of entrepreneurial thinking, right? What is fascinating about what Startup Prize Energy is and what it will be is, we have two verticals, right? One is electricity and one is fuels. Electricity is going to be moving electrons around, whether it's efficiencies or technologies. Startup Prize Energy on the fuel side is, things like hydrogen, things like ammonia, but also hydrocarbons. We are one of the only energy entrepreneurial competitions that is welcoming to oil and gas. Now, I understand that there are people out there that might have an issue with oil and gas, with fossil fuels. The issue is that fossil fuels are essential to the way this country runs. And for Louisiana not only to be a leader in the extraction and the utilization of fossil fuels or hydrocarbons is one thing, but if we can also be the number one state in the country, if not one of the places in the world that really starts to output innovation from the oil and gas sector or from the ammonia sector or the hydrogen sector, is what our goal is. I mean, our goal is never to be the best in Shreveport or the best in Bossier or even the best in Louisiana. We want to be world class, and that's what we hope Startup Prize Energy will be, and that's where we hope it'll take us.
What has it meant for you to have a hand in propping up these success stories and helping the community out and shining a spotlight on those who deserve it?
Well, there's nothing more fulfilling. My background is a filmmaker, and I've done very well as a filmmaker, and I feel very fortunate. That said, I think that the beauty of being able to help others, and it's not an altruistic thing, right? I think that what I want to do is I want to build a cool enough city, Shreveport and Bossier, right? I want to build a cool enough region that my kids will look at and want to come back to. I mean, that's my ultimate goal, is really to help build, whether it be through Film Prize, Music Prize, Food Prize, Comedy Prize, but especially Startup Prize, right? If I can build a place where industry and innovation lands and grows, and we can build that critical mass here, then we have an opportunity to be something incredibly special. Now, will we ever be Austin, Texas? We don't want to be Austin, Texas, right? We don't want to be Dallas. We don't want to be Houston. We don't want to be New Orleans. For us, we've got to build something special unto ourselves, and we've got to do it off of our strengths. And I think that one of the reasons I believe that Film Prize and Music Prize and all the other prizes, and especially Startup Prize, has done so well is because of our strength here, which is its people. I got to tell you that I feel like Shreveport, Bossier have some of the nicest, kindest people who will not allow you to fail if you give yourself to them. And I've seen it myself personally, but what I want to be able to give that gift to all the other innovators that are out there, for them to land their companies here and be a part of an amazing community.
Yeah, that's really awesome. And you obviously have founded all the prizes, like we said before. How do you go about balancing all of that and putting your energy here versus here? What's your thought process?
Yeah. Well, when people ask me, because I have a lot of different worlds that I run through, right? I have filmmakers over here, and I have musicians over here, and I have comedians over here, and I have innovators over there, and I really do relish the fact that I'm unmedicated. Because I've not found any medication that will like get me focused on one thing, and it's not that we're, we don't do things in a light mannered fashion, right? I think that what I've been very lucky to find in our community is a group of people who work around me, who are very focused on the things they're focused on, right? So, when you look at Startup Prize, Melissa Brannon, that's what she works on, right? So, finding really good people who are really passionate, who can help me sort of like realize a vision and help lay out that vision and help sort of build that vision is what I've been lucky enough to be able to do here in Shreveport. Now, I started kind of, Film Prize on a whim. And as it grew, I immediately saw that this was not something that I could really build in a sustainable fashion, right? So, the people that are in my office have really, and they joke. It's like every time I walk in, they're like, please, not another prize. It's like, but, when you look at, Amy O'Callahan and Chris Lyon and Kelly Peterson and Rachel Hansel and, Jake Griffin and, all Daphne Dawson, all these people that work with me are building something together. And I think without that team, I'm not sure I could put that focus on those things. But the balance has been struck, and we have the things out there that are out there, and the blessing and the curse is that they're all at this point really successful. So getting that support from the community and getting the support from the people I get to work with is, I think, how the magic happens.
Yeah, I know you said people are basically begging you to not do another.
100%. Yeah. Let me tell you, like, I am hoping that, my wife will be the first comment on there, why did you put him on and let him promote more prizes? But, again, it's been such a gift, I have friends in Austin and friends, at, they do various things there, and they've always sort of been quizzical about our move to Shreveport, right? And so much so, Anthony, that like we still get asked. We've been here for like 16 years, 17 years. We still get asked when we're moving back. When is the Shreveport experiment over? And I always tell them that there are a lot of crazy curly-haired dudes running around Austin trying to do nutty things, right? The beautiful thing about Shreveport and Bossier is that I can put things out there. And again, we put heart, we put soul, we put energy into things, we do things correctly, and the community supports it. And I think that without that, I don't know where I'd be, to be quite honest. Maybe back in Austin, but here's a place that has given us such great support. It would feel weird to leave any of that behind, considering what I've been able to do and hopefully what it's done for the community.
And when it comes to your endeavors and everything like that, where can people find more information about events or prizes that they can get involved in?
Well, first and foremost, for Startup Prize Energy, and I want to give a shout out to any sort of innovators that are out there. If there are people who are literally tinkering in their garage on a seal on a pipeline, or they have a better idea about how to run an oil rig, or they understand electricity and they know how to work on software that helps electricity be more efficient. You can go to startupprize.com, right? And you just click on the energy side. There's also the health side, and this same goes for health innovators. But right now, energy is really where we're focused as far as scooping up the innovators. And our goal is to get as many innovators from Louisiana as possible. We want to really tap into Louisiana innovation, and we want to amplify it. That's what the goal is. And then, if you are into like any of the other sort of prizes, prizefest.com is the place to go. If you're a musician, you're a filmmaker, you're a chef, a comedian, you can always register at prizefest.com. Anthony, this is going to go on for a while, so just sit back and let me cook. Yeah. Let me cook, Anthony. And then, so that's prizefest.com. You can get that there. Then, if you are a student filmmaker, right, we have something called Film Prize Junior. You can go to filmprizejr.com. and filmpricejr.com. You just click on the Louisiana one. We have Film Price Junior in a couple of states. And then if you are a taco lover, which on May 2nd will be Taco Wars, you can go to, I think, maybe prizefest.com/taco wars is where you can go. But, for us, I think it's about building, a bigger tent, and it's about building something that is diverse and inclusive. And when I say that as everyone needs to feel comfortable going into a space. And the beautiful thing about everything we do at the Prize is we try to make it as accessible as possible. And that goes from Startup Prize, which, has no cost to it at all. You just need to sign up and participate, right? Taco Wars, come down, it's free, to, there's certainly a ticket price to Prize Fest and things like that. But our goal is to get everyone there and to build a community that appreciates and celebrates itself. And I can't think of a better way to do it than the way that we built it to be. So, again, I just hope that everyone can really connect into part of what the Prize is trying to accomplish.
Awesome. And is there anything that we didn't cover that you wanted to?
Well, Anthony, I will tell you that I don't demand payment for my interviews. I really there's no sort of fee for me being here. Only spirit and love. So I like to end my interviews with "Viva la Startup Prize," especially if I'm talking about Startup Prize. It would be "Viva la Film Prize," but we're talking about Startup Prize. Mm-hmm. But you got to do it with me, or I will not give permission for this ever to be published.
Okay.
Okay. Ready? So I need you to say it. That's okay. Right. That's right. So we're going to say "Viva la Startup Prize" on 3.
Okay.
You ready? Mm-hmm. It's got to be loud and proud, or we'll sit here all day long.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready, Anthony?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know you podcast people, you get super serious. You want to know, you go deep. But this is all about spirit and love. Mm-hmm. You ready? On 3. Viva la Startup Prize on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Viva la Startup Prize! Woo! Well, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with me today.
Well, it's awesome. And like I said, I appreciate you. I appreciate what you're doing. Putting this kind of thing out into the world is really important to building us up to who we can be. So thank you for all you do.